Hey folks, welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are in bracket play now of the 2022 Fiesta Day Spikeball tournament, and so it looks like we've got Stauffer versus Wilson here to start things off in bracket play. Again, we did get to see pool play with Stauffer, Anderson, and Vogelsberg. Vogelsberg taking the two losses to those teams, all of them getting forfeit wins against Lords, who ended up not showing up for the tournament, and then in the head-to-head matchup between Stauffer and Anderson, Anderson getting the win, so they were 3-0 in tournament in a pool play. Stauffer doing 2-1, and so able to advance here to bracket play, and then now taking on Wilson here to start things off here in bracket play. So Stauffer will start things off here. Solid serve, and that will hit the rim for point number one here for Stauffer. Again, I am of the opinion that we very likely could see a Stauffer-Anderson rematch in the actual championship game. We'll see if that is what ends up actually unfolding, but I would not be shocked in the slightest, as both teams were highly skilled and really enjoyed watching their matchup. That is a fantastic dig off of a really solid hit by Wilson, and it does go down for Wilson for their first point here of the game. So ones. Starting things off here in this matchup. Oh, nice, tricky serve there. Kind of like that. A little bit of a kind of misdirect there. Not a full backhand, but kind of gives it, again, like I said, sometimes you do just want to present a different angle to the other team just to kind of get them a little bit off balance, which is what Stauffer just tried to do there. Go a little more straight up here with their other serve. Big swing. It does go off the trampoline, as long as he didn't. And they will award the point there to Wilson. Kind of a little fortuitous there, as it ends up bouncing on the trampoline after the whiff there on that third hit. Good pop up. Goes for the second hit, dug up nicely by Wilson, taking note of that particular hit. Goes for it, runs all the way over towards our camera. Does make the recovery. Oh, and just a little bit short there. Man, he ran an absolute mile and then flips up just for good measure. He might be just a little bit athletic, folks. That's pretty impressive there. So Stauffer taking the point. Getting reset here is they are going to count that one as an ace. So nice serve there for Stauffer. He's going to go backhand. Oh, that's a beauty. Played nicely though. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Love that. Love that. Man, the recovery to be able to get back was impressive, but unfortunately does hit pocket, so point will go to Wilson. Oh, tricky serve. Love that. Showed backhand and then slings it back, but does hit pocket. Oh, that's rough, because that was just such beautiful presentation. He's actually going to try it again. I'm going to actually even give him a third one. He's going to go straight up. They pop it up. Be up and out of reach, so point will go to Wilson. They will. Point will go to Stauffer, as on the serve, you need to be able to contain it enough that the team does not need to jump for it. That does get to be considered an out of play. Oh, that's dirty. That is dirty. Set up nicely there by the offense, and then just a good read of like, nah, I'm fine, just let it hit the trampoline. Again, I really enjoyed the communication for Stauffer as opposed to some of these other teams. Really a couple guys that know how to play well with each other. That's some good positioning though from Wilson, able to recognize that Stauffer was not going to be able to cover the grass necessary to get to that one. Goes with the lefty. So Wilson with the serve here once again. They will go for a reserve, as that one does go a bit high. Ooh, direct line there, but fantastic slam. Good setup. Dug up nicely though by Stauffer. Goes for that second hit, and that time it will get past him, as a good read there by Wilson to keep rolling here. And again, we are in the bracket play here now of the 2022 Fiesta Days Pickleball Tournament here on Spanish Fork 17. We hope that you've enjoyed all of our coverage of Fiesta Days so far, whether that's softball, pickleball, cornhole, all of the fun activities that we've been doing so far, and then of course the capstone being the Fiesta Days Rodeo coming up here next week. So definitely love just being down here celebrating Spanish Fork. Always such a good job by Parks and Rec putting all these big activities together and just making it a fun environment here at the sports park. Got to come down here to call the softball tournament. Was just a blast, and I've been looking over throughout the night over at the cornhole tournament, and they are still going nice and strong out there. Right when I arrived, there was just a massive crowd of folks over there. That's been a huge hit since we started doing that particular tournament last year, and I imagine that that's going to keep going strong here, and would also not be shocked to see more people start, more other cities start picking up on the fact that it's well attended. So if you're from Orem or from Provo or Pleasant Grove, some of the other places in the area, you might want to throw out to your Parks and Rec, hey, maybe you should do a cornhole tournament because Spanish Fork absolutely crushing it with theirs. Also, another idea for other cities, these Spikeball tournaments. These have been so fun. This is the fifth one that we've done here as part of Fiesta Days, and every year it's just been such a blast. This year they got two divisions. There's an intermediate and a beginner division. When there's enough people, they're able to do three. There's an advanced division that will be played, but as you can see, both of these teams would definitely be kind of in that advanced region of things. And the other team that we saw here earlier tonight as well, Anderson, big fan of them, and thought that think that they really have a chance of winning this whole thing. They definitely would be an advanced team as well, as this bracket play continues to roll on between Wilson and Stauffer. Great dig. Oh, almost really close to being able to get the trampoline there, but point will go to Wilson. Little deke move there, little pump fake, but ends up going off the rim. There'll be a reserve here for Wilson. Nice job. Good setup. Tries to go in between them. Instead, it's a dirty play there by the orange shirt. Might want to take note of that particular play, as that's been the shirt that he's got there. I love that. It's one of the playoff shirts for the Jazz for these past couple of years with their City Edition and specifically the dark mode jersey. Solid serve, just a bit short off the rim, so it'll be a reserve here for Stauffer. Wilson with the nice backhand that will roll beautifully onto the grass. Another point there for them. Again, kind of crazy things going on. Speaking of the Utah Jazz, it's if you're a Jazz fan, it's been a roller coaster of an off season for you. Trading away Rudy Gobert, an absolute franchise pillar for basically the last decade. Seeing him getting traded away to the Timberwolves, a bittersweet moment for a lot of Jazz fans, knowing that kind of felt like it was time for a new era of Jazz basketball, and Gobert most likely was not going to be part of that. But excited to see what happens with that particular trade. Ends up being essentially 5 first-round picks out of that particular trade, along with a bunch of pretty solid players from the Timberwolves in Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, Leandro Balmaro, who they think has got a lot of potential, Walker Kessler, who they just drafted, potential Gobert replacement, really solid defensive center for Auburn. And then kind of the centerpiece in my mind being Malik Beasley, a guy that they really think could develop into a potential all-star. Was really solid for the Timberwolves the last couple years, has a really great three-point shot, so I think he's got a good shot of, if Donovan sticks around, I think Beasley is probably the guy that starts next to him, and I think that could be a really fun backcourt duo if both of them can kind of step up their defensive game. But obviously right now the big rumor out there is that Donovan Mitchell potentially is on the move, and the Jazz are at least listening to trade offers. And so we'll see what potentially happens here in the next couple days or in the next couple weeks here. Obviously, kind of the whole offseason's been stalled by Kevin Durant wanting to get traded out of Brooklyn and Kyrie potentially wanting out too. So it's just been kind of a crazy offseason in general. And then you add that to the fact that the Jazz are making moves and kind of wanting to retool things. It's been an interesting offseason for the NBA, and I am excited to see what exactly the Jazz are going to end up being. Also very excited for Will Hardy, their new head coach. Always definitely sad to see Quinn Snyder go. He's been sensational, but again, the franchise just felt like it was time for a reboot, and so Will Hardy, the youngest active NBA coach coming from the Celtics and kind of in that Spurs tree. So very excited to see what he does and kind of the new direction that the Jazz are going to be going in. Now that I've talked your ear off about basketball, let's get back to the Spikeball here on Spanish Fork 17, as got a tight matchup here between Stauffer and Wilson in bracket play. That one is going to be up and over, down for a point there for Wilson. So just so you're aware, it is a one-game matchup here in bracket play, as they do kind of want to speed things up and kind of get to a place where we're not here for super long, like some of the kickball tournaments or even softball sometimes can be a little dicey. So it is just a one-game matchup, but it does go to 21, and so it is a longer game. And as the serve is going to be off the rim there for Stauffer. Solid setup for Wilson, going to be off the belly of Stauffer. Wilson with an opportunity here to continue to keep things rolling. That's good, solid second hit there, but read nicely by Wilson and sent out into just literal no man's land. Solid fake there. Love the pump fake and just kind of the different actions that some of these guys do on their serves to create some mismatch advantages, as that one does go down for Stauffer here in this. Again, we are in bracket play here in the intermediate division, and unlike other years, we do just have the two divisions this year, so intermediate kind of being the top part of competition here with this Spikeball tournament. And Stauffer being the reigning champions in intermediate, we were able to get coverage of them last year. They were a really fun interview. Unfortunately, this year we didn't really have the equipment to be able to do interviews. That's kind of been a fun little part of our Spikeball tournament experience for the last couple of years. But instead, we're just going to give you just straight coverage this year, which is fun in its own way. Diving effort there from Wilson. Absolute full extension there off the fingertips. Would have been an absolutely sensational dig, but still pretty sensational anyway. Just to be able to get to the point where he could have made a play on that was pretty impressive, as Stauffer will continue to serve here. Good setup right at the trampoline, slams it down. Good point there for Wilson. Off the rim, so it'll be a reserve. Another opportunity here. That's going to be pocket. It's a double fault. Definitely hate that late in the game. Stauffer goes with the kind of off-speed lefty serve, nothing doing, so kind of go back to straight up here. Good setup, good slam. Tries to go up and reach for it, just a bit beyond. Point going to Wilson. Off rim and down over towards the crowd over there on the right. As things have started quieting down here at the sports park for this Spikeball tournament. Still kind of the faithful ones still sticking around watching these bracket play matchups. We are fully dark at this point too, as we are completely under the lights here at the sports park. Kind of fun. Oh, that would have been absolutely sensational. That's rough when you're just that far away from the trampoline. Big point there for Stauffer. Excellent setup, but just a bit short. That's frustrating for Wilson. Really had a nice setup there. Fantastic serve, and it will be down for an ace. Nope, they are going to have him reserve, it looks like. Oh, tried to get the setup, but just a bit short on it. That is rough, as that's going to be the ball game there. Stauffer will advance in bracket play, as again they are the reigning champions from last year. But hands up for Team Wilson. They really are very skilled, very talented, and were quite impressive. And so nice run for them, making it to bracket play. But Stauffer coming out victorious, and they will move on. And again, it's I'm telling you right now, I'm not a betting man, but I would not be shocked if we see Stauffer and Anderson in the championship round here in the intermediate division. So let's put a bow on that one. Stauffer taking the win, and we'll get you more bracket play coverage when it comes up here on Spanish Fork 17.